Ukraine says Russia launched its largest drone attack of the war so far. The country's Air Force says Russia fired a record 728 drones, as well as 13 missiles in what was a massive overnight barrage. CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio is following all of this for us from our London bureau. Joins us now. Ramy, good morning. What can you tell us about what was once again a massive overnight attack?
Right. A record, as you said, a few hundred more drones than what Russia reportedly launched just last week. We also know that this attack was widespread, Errol. Nearly half of all of Ukraine's regions are reporting some kind of damage today. There are 24 regions, 10 to 11 regions are reporting damage there. As far east as Kharkiv, near the Russian border, as far west as the city of Lutsk, 500 miles away, and that's near the border with Poland. A reminder, that's a NATO member. Poland even had to scramble aircraft in case it had to protect its airspace. And President Zelensky said that Lutsk was the main target. It has airfields, for example, that the Ukrainian army uses. It's not unusual to see fighter jets flying over the city as well. The mayor said that buildings were hit, but thankfully there were no injuries or deaths, at least reported. The governor of this region, the Volyn region, said that 50 Russian drones and missiles did enter someplace in its airspace. Now, in reaction, Vladimir Zelensky is pushing again for what he termed biting sanctions on specifically Russian oil exports, along with sanctions on those people or governments or entities that buy Russian oil. This is because that money really is helping to keep the Kremlin's war effort going. The latest estimate from last year, at least, is that Russia was able to make something like $200 billion. That's according to the International Energy Agency, and that's $200 billion towards the economy, also towards this war effort. That was despite sanctions at the time. The EU, we understand now, is working on a new sanctions package, but this is the 18th sanctions package, Errol. France says it is close to an agreement, but there are some NATO countries that still rely on Russian energy that do need convincing.
Yeah, just one of the levers that other nations can pull. Ramy, we appreciate that comprehensive update. Thanks so much.
You bet.
Now, we dig into this issue a bit more now because President Trump is ramping up criticism of Russian President Vladimir Putin. He says he's very strongly considering a new sanctions bill. Just listen to the strong language Trump had for the Russian leader at yesterday's cabinet meeting.
I don't know. We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin. For you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
CBS News correspondent Natalie joins us from the White House with more on this. Pretty original, pretty new language we're hearing from the president as it refers to the Russian leader. What seems to be behind this apparent change?
Good morning, Errol. Well, we've heard this building frustration since President Trump took office in his second term. He's wanted to negotiate peace, stop the war, Russia's war on Ukraine. But he's realizing that that's much more difficult than he anticipated. He's acknowledging now that that is tougher. And he went, months ago from saying that he believed Putin wanted peace to now saying he's very unhappy with him and disappointed with his most recent phone call, that there has not been progress. And it's also important to note that this is something that Ukraine's President Zelensky warned him of during that Oval Office blow up, earlier in the term, that Putin could not be trusted. But now we know that President Trump says he is going to send Ukraine additional weapons and military assistance after, we had reported that some shipments in the pipeline had been paused as part of a larger administration review. Yesterday, during that cabinet meeting, President Trump said he did not know who ordered the pause, but that now more weapons would be headed to Ukraine. That pause is something that lawmakers across both sides of the aisle over on Capitol Hill really blasted, and now urging the president to support that sanctions bill that you were referencing. The president asked about that and said that he would be looking at it, Errol.
All right, Natalie with all the latest for us on that front. Natalie, thank you.